Yup, it's me. And we have come to the end of the road. Let's check in the trunk. Now I want to show you guys this. Again, being careful not to smoke in my buddy's car. What the fuck is that? I'm going to take you from the front all the way to the back. Working with certain situations is not easy. Sorry for the jitter. I'm holding the camera. So, onward with the said presentation. So, that is what we were left with. I'm going to do my best to try to massage that cabling a little bit better so it's not sticking up as far. But it runs here into the battery terminal. So, currently right now we've got about a 200, 250 amp fuse on there. That was the smallest one that I had, so I'm working with what I got. It comes down, traces, it's been all zip tied with enough room up into the firewall. Said speaker wire and power cable run this way. Again, all clean. That panel is off to show you what I did with it. That was the end result. We did this to my son's car because naturally these things literally bounce around. So, being careful to install it. They do go in a particular way. That's it. Okay. Being careful, I got the heater here. Everything's been put back in. Seats. Everything is in. Doesn't even look like the car's been touched at all. So, again, I will look over the car, little stuff like this, just to make sure. So, again, the car's been worked on before, so this carpet has been peeled back and forth. So, it's been massaged back and forth. So, I'll do my best to go on ahead and retuck that little piece in. But other than that, can't even see the wiring. Just a little 10. However, the size of it is just a 10. I was trying to figure out why the hell this thing was so heavy, and I go to pull this out, and it's a Scar Audio, but it's one of their, it's not the EVL. I'm trying to remember what the hell it was. But it's got a big motor on it. It's a big dog for a little 10. There is the end result. So the wire that you're looking at, it's going this way. That's for his sub. That's just in case if he wants to go on ahead, bring the sub out of the car, he's got enough room. However, there it is. We ended up using a rivet nut. Right in there. And again, all cabling wrapped. So that's the trunk. To our surprise. And I do mean to our surprise. And I will get into that in just a second. I apologize. And pause it. Okay. Again. Factory finish. RCA's remote wire, everything is run on this side, keeping it away from the power wire. Okay. So what we ended up doing down here is I found another base knob with that one in it. He has a choice. He can use this one, which is a little taller, or he can use that one. When turning on these amplifiers, the amplifiers have a blue LED on it. Both of them. Give me 1 second. For aesthetic purposes, I shut off the lights. So remember that. I'll be damned We got lucky with the blue switch matching that LED. No popping, no nothing. I stayed quiet for a second. No engine noise. None at all.
Checking to see if you have to change tires. You have no idea what humble is until you have to sniff a 1-year-old's butt. Gravity's holding me back. I want you to hold out the palm of your hand. Why don't we leave it at that? Nothing to say, and everything gets in the way.
All done by steering wheel controls. Now, the end result was way better than what I expected. Again, I am finicky on how I like my systems. This was tailored to the way for him. We discussed what music he plays, things of that nature, and what we wanted out of the system per what he was looking for. So, most people will tell you in the video, hey, I'm going to let you see how this sounds. You can't fucking see sound. Does the mic on the phone do it justice? Absolutely not. So again, I'll shut off the amplifier. These are the interiors.
Why are you sitting on the floor? What kind of pills are you on? Bring in the bag. Nobody's coming to help. Your daddy lives with himself. He just wants to know that you're well. In this world, it's just us. No, it's not the same.
It's cool shit. He's got a, and I do mean a hair, and it's barely even noticeable, of a dim. However, this car has been sitting, we've been in and out of the vehicle. So once I give this car a really good drive, it should charge up the battery. To cover our ass, in my previous video, there is that spot that is empty. That is going to be possibly for a 12 volt 18 amp hour battery. Does exactly what it's supposed to do, just like stock. What we discovered earlier was there was a piece of paper wedged in here. Okay, he was telling me something was rattling around. Once we got all this in there, we couldn't understand why he had that piece of paper. There was physically only one screw in here, and it wasn't even tight. So the radio, his factory radio, was bouncing around. This has now got 3 screws, because there's only 3 screws available for this. On my son's car, there was one here and one up there. The other one was never knocked out. When we went to the junkyard, we ended up getting the little speed nut that goes in there. This one just so happened to have it. They are fully tight. That radio is locked in. Everything went back in accordingly. Okay. Nice and smooth into its factory location without any hesitation. That's the setup. What we ended up doing is just dolling up literally from here all of this. A little bit of armor all, cleaned everything up, getting our fingerprints off of it, and all of it looks factory. It looks like it was meant to be there, and that was the design. She is done. She is completely done. By request, give me a second. He had requested me to go on ahead and look into the box to make sure, A, it was wired up right, B, how was the wiring. To my surprise, again, it's not my equipment. I've never dabbled into it. To my surprise, the wiring that was in there is my preferred wiring. It is a very stiff speaker wiring. Was wired correctly, so we rolled with it. The terminal on the side, not one of my picks, but I was just like, hey, let's go on ahead and let's embark on running the speaker cabling. It is only 500 watts. That cable is more than enough to handle 500 watts. If we were doing 2K or anything bigger than that, 1500, then that's when we would dabble into a different terminal, bigger wiring. But for what he wanted, we accomplished the goal. Again, he is not looking to literally bend air. like what you see with everybody else, 412s, 1512s, things of that nature. He wanted something that was he can enjoy. He wanted to rock out, boom, he can rock out. He didn't want to rock out, he's got something subtle. To the extent where if he didn't want any bass, boom, he's got a little bit of bass on the interiors. So the goal has been accomplished for him. How do I like it? I like it better than what I expected for him. Do keep in mind, I like to bend air. If I'm not bending air and I'm not flexing my window, different. How do I like this setup for him? Spot on. Definitely above and beyond what he will expect. So because he dynamited the hell out of the trunk, we ended up playing with it. Can't even hear it. You can see a little bit of flex with that 110 in there. You can see it. No noise. Not even the license plate. So he is going to enjoy the hell out of this. Later on, we are going to embark on the third brake light that I kind of fucked up on. Popped the wire. So we're going to fix that together. And we're also going to embark on what we're going to do for the center spare tire cover. We need something strong enough that is going to handle his weight should he put his hand on it, things of that nature. But she's done. Seats are all back in. Made sure everything's back in like it's never been touched. Again, you can't even see the wiring. It has been literally tucked and put away. I am happy the results. Better than what I expected. So did my son. So will I embark on washing the car? Possibly. So that is the last thing. The car is very dusty. There was a little bit of dust in my garage. So moving some blankets and covering the car up, we got a little bit of dust on it. So the last thing to do is being careful to hand car wash this possibly today. Give it a little wash, doll her up a little bit, and in hopes to deliver either the car tomorrow or no later than Tuesday. Again, I will embark on getting a hold of the owner and see what day is going to be convenient. I'd like to keep the car for just one more day so we can plan on the delivery of the vehicle. So again, I'm not in the business of doing this. I did this for him because he did me the favor of giving my son a bunch of parts, well over $500 in parts. So the least I can do for him was to go on ahead and do the install. So I ended up with extra wiring and stuff that I will definitely never use, and I had good stuff. So to do him the favor, I installed it. Things that we came across as far as extra stuff like RCAs, speaker wiring, things of that nature. I submitted the request. He went on ahead and bought all the parts. Boom, got installed. So I am ecstatic. I am. This thing is, again, just looks like his Regal with the added plus. Because we did this install, my son looked at me. He goes, I'm feeling this style. I'm feeling the switch. I'm feeling the knob. So that's going to be one of those things where we'll probably embark on his install. And unfortunately, in his case, we're probably going to have to unrun some of the runs that are in there. So again, we'll cross certain bridges when we get to it. All right. So that's your update. That's the end result. That's the end of this story. Holla at your boy, motherfuckers.